I was doing an online consultation on Friday, today's Sunday, with someone who had been working on some PRI exercises for quite some time, and she was feeling better, but then her symptoms would come back and they would kind of fluctuate. And one of the things that was happening in my mind was that she was continuing to do her physical therapy exercises, which included leg lifts. So a leg lift, the way I'm understanding that she was doing it, was she was lying on her side and just lifting up her leg. Now, theoretically, and now they're doing that for the abductor muscles, so the glute medius and the glute, to strengthen those muscles. The problem is that there's no guarantee that that pelvis, her pelvis, is going to be positioned properly to actually use the abductors to actually abduct the leg. And I did the session with her and I had her do an exercise and I caught something that she was doing. Now, this exercise resembled a leg lift, but we did it in a PRI way of doing it, which meant that I was guaranteeing that her pelvis was going to be shifted to the left. Because when you're in a left AIC pattern, the pelvis on the left comes forward and orients the pelvis to the right. Your brain loves that. That's what you're naturally built to do more of than the opposite. Again, it goes back to the bigger right diaphragm pulling the lumbar spine to the right. That bigger, stronger right diaphragm has a bigger, stronger pull to the right than the corresponding diaphragm on the left, because the diaphragm on the left is smaller. So we are right dominant people. And what I saw her do immediately when I asked her to do the technique was when she went to abduct her right leg, so she's lying on her side. And actually, wait, I have the pictures. Well, I don't have the pictures of her, I have the pictures of me. So what you're gonna see, so I kind of just demonstrated what happens in this situation. So the first picture you're gonna see is me lying on my left side with my right leg extended, and it's kind of sitting on top of a little, I don't remember, what do you call those things? A little container, like an ottoman, that's what they're called. $10, great for PRI techniques. You get it at IKEA, something like that, it's perfect. Anyway, I'm lying on my left side and I have labeled neutral right ab wall. So my right side is just kind of sitting there. It's not shortened, it's not lengthened, it's just kind of in the middle. Okay, so that's a neutral ab. Now, most people who are patterned are not going to lie down like that. They're going to be lying down with a shortened right ab wall, which you'll see next. So, all right, now, in this picture, you're going to see how she abducted her right leg, how she picked up her right leg. What she did was, as she went to pick the right leg up, she shortened her ab wall. So this pelvis that was ostensibly lying flat, it really wasn't, because she wasn't positioned perfectly. And when she tried to abduct the leg, her pelvis went up towards her shoulders. And so what she really did was, so on top is the right side, right? She lifted that leg, the pelvis went this way, the rib cage went this way, and she shortened her entire right abdominal wall. Her right side shortened, her entire frontal plane on that right side shortened. Now, when you want to abduct your right leg, that can't happen. When you're walking, when you're upright, in order to abduct your left leg, in order to abduct your right leg, which means pushing to the left and then having your leg come forward through the air as you get into left stance, you have to shorten the left ab wall and lengthen the right ab wall. So if the right ab wall doesn't lengthen while you abduct your right leg in this picture, like in this picture, where I'm using my ab wall to shorten to abduct, that's not true abduction. That's fake abduction. That's abduction using a right ab wall. That is, by definition, what will happen when you are in the left AIC, right BC pattern. You cannot abduct your right leg. Your right glute is out of commission. Your glute medius is not being used for swing phase of gait. It's not being used for abduction. You're using your right abs, your abdominal wall, and you're also using your right quads for push over to the left. And on the bottom, you'll see the left ab wall is kind of doing nothing. All right, so that is fake abduction. And every time that someone writes in about pelvic tilt video, on one of my pelvic tilt videos, and they say, well, my right hip is higher, what is that? What does that mean? That's what it means. It means you're using part of this pattern. You are using your ab wall to abduct your right hip and your right leg. That's fake. Is it really a surprise that you're stuck in that position when that's how you're abducting? Now, do you think stretching is going to change that? If you've been using your right ab wall to do this, instead of keeping the pelvis steady and doing this, so you're doing this instead of this, do you think stretching is going to change that situation? Negative. You have to retrain neurologically how you have to train position of the pelvis, and you have to train then shifting the pelvis to the left, engaging the left abs as you do it, and then abducting the right leg, because that's true abduction, using your right glute medius and your right glute, and you'll see that in the last picture. So that would be fake abduction. Now here's actual glute abduction. Now notice my leg is not that high, but it is slightly off the, not the futon, the ottoman. If you look at my right abdominal wall, look at the arrows, it is spread apart. That is a right ab wall that has lengthened. That is a right side that has been inhibited. Remember, when you're in that left AIC, right BC pattern, that right side of your body is always on. It's always tight. In that position, you cannot use your right leg to abduct because your pelvis is stuck in a position, your ribcage is stuck in a position. Look at my left abdominal wall. It's curved. I'm shortening my left side, I'm lengthening my right side. I'm already feeling my left abs, and I didn't actually even have to pick my right foot up off the ottoman. I already felt my left abs and I already felt my right glute. I didn't even have to move my right foot, my right leg up, because it's already in an abducted position. Once I actually position my pelvis properly by going into what we call left AFIR, and orienting the pelvis to the left, once you do that while engaging your left abs, to your brain, you're on the left side of your body. My body is being pushed into that floor, which is underneath the left side. My brain is now aware of the left side, and that right glute and glute medius already kicked in. I didn't even have to pick that stupid leg up. That's how this works. Stretching or trying to strengthen any muscle when you're still on your right leg, when your brain still perceives that you're on the right side, even though you're laying on your left side, your right side musculature, if your right ab wall is shortened, you're still on your right side, according to your brain. You have to position your pelvis properly and your ribs. So you can't be like this and abduct your right leg. You can be like this and abduct your right leg properly. Like this, you're not going to be doing it because you're not in the right position to do it. So this picture, again, I'm using my left abs with the right glute and the right glute medius at the same time, and that causes proper abduction because I'm shifted to the left and you can push. Without those two things happening at the same time, you're going to be doing fake abduction. So all those pelvic tilts and all that tightness on that right side, do you really think you can stretch your way out of that? That is a neurological phenomenon. That is a body that does not know how to get into the proper position to actually abduct the right leg, so it uses compensatory abduction, which goes through the right ab wall. And that is just a fundamental cheat that we all, well, if you're in a pattern, that's what you're going to be doing. That's why that right glute is so important. But until you can achieve this position, which is not how you're living, here's the left side, you're not living like this very well, you're living like this. All right, so this right side is completely tight and you're on your right leg and you got a pelvic tilt, blah, 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 blah. That is a brain issue. That is a brain that does not sense the left side. You got to shift to that left side, close that left side down, and now you can abduct that right leg. But it's a neurological process. My right glute would not have kicked in my right glute medius would not have kicked in for abduction until I shortened the left side and lengthened the right abdominal wall. So this kind of goes back to my last video where I said, when someone asked if they can keep doing their PT exercises, and this is exactly why I don't like them to be doing them, because those PT exercises are not taking these types of things into consideration. And you can't say that a PRI program didn't work if you cannot achieve what I just did. And if your exercises from the physical therapy or anything else are not taking care that you are positioned properly to do true abduction of the right leg, you're just going to pull yourself right back into the pattern that you're trying to get yourself out of. So I hope that helped in clearing up what can happen when you're doing exercises that are not taking into consideration the starting point of the pelvis and the rib cage.